That's working good. All right, welcome to Monday Yoga. This is a hotel room in Las Vegas, so for those of you that are watching the recording, you can do yoga anywhere. So my reading for you tonight is nice and short. I didn't have my normal reading material for me, but I found one that was nice and short that I liked, and I find it so true. And it says, the 3 things you need to succeed in life are a wishbone, a backbone, and a funny bone. And I thought, isn't that the truth? You know, wish for what you want, have a backbone to have strength, to, fortitude, and then have a funny bone to be able to take life lightly and laugh at mistakes and things that don't always go well. So those 3 things: a wishbone, a backbone, a funny bone. So let's get started on our mats or on our towels, whatever you got. We'll get started down on our back. So knees can be bent, our legs can be stretched out. Let's take a few breaths and let's breathe into our wishbone. So find that wishbone wherever it is in your body and breathe into it. What are you wishing for? What are you hoping for? What are your dreams? And just breathe into that space inside of you that holds your wishes and your hopes and your dreams. And even bringing to mind some things that you're wishing for. We bring them to mind. We're trying to manifest them. We don't try to figure out how the thing we're wishing for or what we're hoping for. We don't try to plan out all the steps. We just simply think about it, bring it to mind, see ourselves in that situation, in that space, whatever it is, and let the universe work out the details. Just bringing to mind some hopes, dreams, wishes. Take those nice, slow belly breaths. Inhale, feel your belly rise. Exhale, feel your belly fall. And let's breathe into our backbone. So not just our spinal vertebra, but our backbone, our fortitude, our strength, our courage to get through life, to get through changes, to take the steps we need to go where we need to go. Bring your awareness to the belly, just a few 2 finger widths above the belly button. That's our 3rd chakra. And that is our center of courage and fortitude and strength. So breathe into that, let's say figuratively, our backbone. And just ask for the strength and the courage and the wisdom to do the things that we need to do. See a beautiful yellow light in the belly, that 3rd chakra. And see the light spreading out through the body like rays from the sun, and maybe even spreading into the room that you're in. And then finding that funny bone in your body. So sometimes we'll hit our elbow and we say, oh, that's our funny bone. But that funny bone of being able to take things lightly, to not get too serious on yourself, to find the humor in situations, find the good in situations, and take things gently when they don't go just perfectly. Breathing in, increasing your sense of humor and relaxing into it. Wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes, signaling that we're going to move our body. If your legs are stretched out, let's one at a time bend the knees and bring the feet to the mat. Once the feet are on the mat, let's rock the hips side to side. So one thing I love about yoga, you don't need a lot of space to do it. The space of your yoga mat is about all you need. Even if you just have a little space right next to the side of your bed, you can find some room to do yoga. Let's bring our knees to center. Exhale, bring the right knee into the chest. We'll hug the right knee. Give yourself a little tuck of your chin and relax the neck and shoulders. A few breaths here. That right knee hugged in. Doing a little bit of hotel room yoga. When you're not in your space, but you want a little stretch, you want to do your yoga, we can make that happen. No excuses. Let's stretch our right foot up to the sky, and we're going to circle our right ankle in one direction. So nice and slow, warm up. This right leg, right ankle, right foot. I love keeping our ankle joint, feet, ankle joints and feet flexible, mobile. Let's circle in the opposite direction. Point and flex your right foot. Good stretch for the back of the leg, the calf muscle stretch, the arch, plantar fascia tendon on the bottom of the foot. We're going to keep our right foot flexed. With your next exhale, bring the right knee into the chest. Hug the knee. Relax your shoulders. Stretch your left leg out on the mat. So lengthen the left leg. Big breaths into the low belly. So we've got this right knee hugged in. And as we take those big breaths, we're massaging the ascending side of our colon, right? Side of the colon that's moving upward. With each breath we take, that colon gets a little massage, helping to move waste products through the body. We're going to rebend our left knee, bring the left foot to the floor, and then bring the right foot to the floor. Once your feet are on the mat, rock your hips a little side to side. Let's loosen up the low back. Loosen up the hips. Good. Bring the knees to center. On your next exhale, bring the left knee into your chest. We'll hug the left knee. Tuck the chin, relax the shoulders. And just going to take a couple nice, slow belly breaths here. Stretch our left foot up to the sky. And let's warm up this leg. So circle that left ankle, nice and slow, one direction. Our feet and ankles mobile. Increasing the synovial fluid in the ankle joint and in the joints of the foot. Let's circle in the opposite direction. And we'll point and flex the left foot. Good stretch for back of the leg and bottom of the foot. Keep our left foot flexed. On your next exhale, we'll bring that left knee into the chest. Hug the knee, relax the shoulders, and stretch the right leg out on the mat. Now lengthen the right leg from the hip to the bottom of the foot. We're going to take nice slow breaths into the belly. So now we're working the left side of the belly for the descending colon. So still helping that waist move its way out of the body, right? The waist moves up the right side, the ascending colon, goes across the belly, the transverse colon, and then moves down the left side, the descending colon. That's why we normally do this pose in that order, right side and then left side. So nice big full breaths. Massaging the intestines, the colon, all the organs in the belly, tummy. Let's rebend our right knee. Bring the right foot to the floor, and the left foot to the floor. Put the feet on the mat, we'll rock the hips side to side. Bring the knees to center. On your next exhale, let's hug both knees into the chest. And we'll roll side to side. So now we're going to roll the whole back side to side. Shoulders, upper back, mid back, low back, hips. Your head can go the same direction as the shoulders and the knees, or your head can stay centered. Let's bring our knees to center. Stretch both feet up to the sky. Feet hip width apart. Feet flex. Let's work our feet. Spread your toes, clench the toes. Spread the toes, clench the toes. So just working the feet, all the bones, all the muscles, all the joints in the feet. Relax the toes. Let's take a yoga walk. Bend one knee. Stretch your opposite foot up to the sky. So we want to really push through the heel. Lengthen the back of the leg. Make your breaths nice and even and smooth. So pay attention to our breathing in the yoga poses. Let's bring both knees back into the chest. Use your core. Don't let your waistline lift. We'll bring the feet down to the mat. They can come down one at a time. Once your feet are down, bring the bottoms of the feet together, knees open for reclined cobbler's pose. So here, if you want a little support for your legs or your hips, you can bring yoga blocks or cushions or folded blankets under the outer thigh. Well, relax the hips and the legs as much as possible. Bring the arms out to your side in a T position, palms up. Tuck the chin a little bit. We want to relax our shoulders and the arms, relax our hips and the legs. So trying to hold zero tension in the body. We're going to work on our big, slow belly breaths. Inhale, belly rises. Exhale, belly falls. So this pose is very good for boosting your immune system. We're opening up the armpit and groin area where we have major lymph nodes. As we take nice, slow belly breaths, that's helping the lymph fluid move through the lymph nodes. The lymph nodes is where the lymph fluid gets cleansed. It's moved back out into the body to scour and find germs, intruders. So nice, slow belly breaths. You can even kind of exaggerate your breath here a little bit. Like inhale, really feel the belly rise. And exhale, really feel the belly fall. We'll bring the arms down by our side. Let's bring the hands to the outer legs and then use your hands to help bring the legs together. Once your knees are together, hug the knees into the chest. And we'll just roll side to side a couple more times. Good. Knees to center. Use your core. Don't let your waistline lift. We're going to bring the feet down to the mat. You can come down one at a time. Let's go into a little bit of hip work. So we're going to bring our right ankle to the left thigh for a figure four pose. Your right foot is flexed. And we're just gently going to move the right knee, right thigh away from us. So getting a stretch on our right hip. Let's rock a little side to side here. Massage for the low back and the hips. Let's bring the knees to center. Keep your right ankle where it is. With your next exhale, both knees come into the chest. So you can hold each leg with each hand or wrap the hands around the back of the left thigh and use your right elbow to press the right thigh away. Now, breathe into that outer right hip and thigh. So it's a really good stretch for the outer hip, thigh, the piriformis muscle, the IT band. All that's on that outer right hip and glute thigh. Couple breaths. Both feet are flexed. That's going to protect our knee joint. We're gonna come out of it nice and slow. Bring your left foot down. And we're gonna cross the leg. So just cross that right leg over the left. So now like the thighs are closed as if you're sitting cross-legged in a chair. And we're gonna rock the hips a little side to side. Next time your knees go to the left, let them stay over to the left. So your right foot might touch the floor. It's okay if it doesn't. Keep your right shoulder down. So your shoulders and chest and belly are facing up to the ceiling. From the hips down, you're twisting over to the left. And just take some nice big breaths. Let's come out of that. We'll bring both knees back up. Uncross the legs. And then adjust your hips and shoulders. Get even on the mat. We'll take the left ankle, put it on the right thigh. Left foot is flexed, and we'll gently move the left knee or left thigh away, getting a stretch on our left hip a little bit, usually the front or the side of the hip. We're going to rock a little side to side. Just a little rocking motion. I like that for a little low back massage. Bring the knees to center. On your next exhale, both knees come in. You can hold each leg with each hand or wrap the hands around the back of the right thigh. Use your left elbow to press the left thigh away. So now we've got that big stretch on the outer left hip, thigh, glute. Both feet are flexed. Make sure your chin didn't lift up towards the ceiling. So a little tuck of the chin, and then relax the jaw, the neck, the shoulders. So some big belly breaths here. We're going to come out of it. So let's bring the right foot down to the mat, and then we'll cross the legs. So just slide that left foot down so the thighs are close or touching, and we'll rock the hips a little side to side. The next time your knees go to the right, you're going to let them hang out over there to the right. So maybe your left foot touches the ground. It's okay if it doesn't. Both shoulders are down on the mat. Your chest is facing the sky. Your belly's facing the sky. But from the hips down, we're twisting over to the right. Big, slow belly breaths. Let's come out of this. We're going to bring the knees to center. Uncross the legs. Adjust the hips and shoulders, get even on the mat. Hug the knees into the chest. We're going to go into happy baby pose. So let's open the knees wide. Bring the arms inside the legs and grab your outer shins, outer ankles, or outside edges of the feet. And then we're going to lift the feet up towards the ceiling. So the bottoms of the feet shining up towards the sky. Try to have your ankle over your knee. Try to have your knees as close to the floor as they'll go. So it's a big inner thigh and hip stretch. Try to relax your arms and shoulders. So you can slide your hands down and hold the outer calves to relax the shoulders. If your arms are way up, trying to hold your feet, then you're causing tension in the shoulders. So just slide those arms or hands down as much as you need. So let's rock a little side to side. Try to keep the ankles over the knees. So keeping those feet as wide as the knees. Good. Bring the legs to center. We're going to stay in this happy baby pose and give our back a little traction. So we're going to press the tailbone down into the mat or into the floor, and then press the shoulders down into the floor. And try to arch your waistline up a little, just a little. It's not going to lift much off the mat, but just giving your back, your spine a little bit of traction here. And then relax all of that. Let go of the legs with feet, and then we're going to bring the feet down to the mat. Use your core. Don't let your waistline lift. One at a time, we're going to stretch the legs out on the mat. So now we're just going to let our hips and our legs relax, front of the hips open, back of the knees open. Arms at your side, palms up. Little tuck of the chin and relax the neck, the jaw, the shoulders. Take a few nice slow belly breaths here. Nothing to do, just let the body relax and breathe. Let's breathe in. Well, I'll tell you what, you can keep the legs stretched out. We're going to work our shoulders a little bit. You can keep the legs stretched out or you can bend the knees, whatever feels better for your lower body. I'm going to bend my knees. Now, grab your yoga block. I don't have a yoga block here in the hotel room, but I'm going to imagine that I'm holding one. So I'm just holding my hands up over my chest, about as wide as a ball, like a volleyball or a yoga block. Going to keep the arms straight, and we're going to circle the arms in a clockwise circle. So it could be a circle or an oval. And it can be as big or small as you like. So what we're just trying to do is get some movement, some massage in that upper back, in between the shoulder blades. Let your breath be nice and even here. So it doesn't necessarily going to match the movement of the arms, but it's just a nice, even inhale and exhale. And then we're going to turn this clockwise circle into a clockwise square or rectangle. So wherever gives you the best stretch or movement in that upper back, shoulders, that's the shape you're making, square or rectangle. That rectangle could be a side-to-side rectangle or an up and down rectangle or a square. Now turn it into a counterclockwise square or rectangle. Nice, even breaths. Working the upper back, shoulder blades, shoulders themselves, the chest. And now we'll turn that into a counterclockwise circle or oval. It's nice and slow. It's not too fast. We're going to bring our arms to center. A little bit more arm work here. So you're holding that block or your hands right up above your chest. And we're going to inhale and lower the hands towards the floor overhead, however far they want to go. And then exhale, we're going to bring the hands or the block back up over the chest. We're going to do 4 more of those. Inhale, lower the block towards the floor overhead. Exhale, lift it back over the chest. Inhale, lower, nice and slow, big stretch. Exhale, lift. We're going to do 2 more of those. Inhale, lower the arms. Exhale, lift. 1 more. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. And we're going to bring the hands down. You can set your block aside. Good. We're going to work on rainbow. So we're going to work on our shoulders a little bit more. We're going to roll onto our left side. Now we're going to be tracing a half circle or a rainbow on the floor overhead. So make sure you've got everything cleared off, that your hand isn't going to touch anything. So we're going to lay on our left side. Your knees are stacked, your head, hips, and heels in a straight line. Your left arm is out in a T position. You can get a little cushion for your head if you do a little cushion, a yoga block or pillow. Your right hand is going to be on top of the left hand. Slide your right hand forward till your right fingertips just touch the floor. And then nice and slow, we're going to start drawing a half circle on the floor overhead. Let your hand hover or let your elbow bend as much as you need. About halfway, you're going to turn your chest and your palm up towards the sky and bring it back behind you in a T position. Now we're going to retrace that rainbow or that half circle on the floor. So just go nice and slow. Let the right hand hover as much as it needs, or bend your elbow as much as you need to make that half circle motion. Remember, about halfway or so, that's where your chest will start to turn up towards the sky. That's where your palm is going to turn up towards the sky as you come into that T position with that right arm behind you. And you'll find as you keep going back and forth, probably your shoulder's going to loosen up a little bit, and maybe that hand can get a little bit lower towards the floor, but perfectly fine if it just hovers the whole way. Next time your palms are touching, keep them touching. We're going to stop there, and then we're going to change sides. So either turning over or switching your head to the other end of the mat. But you want to, if you turn to the other end, you want to make sure everything's cleared off in front of you. We don't want our arm or hand to run into anything because it stops that nice motion. So head, hips, heels in a straight line. Your right palm is out in a T position. You can support your head. Left palm is on top, and just slide those left fingers just a little bit past so they can touch the floor. And then we're going to start to draw that half circle or the rainbow on the floor. Let your hand hover. About halfway, start to turn your chest and your palm up and come into that T position. And then we'll retrace the rainbow. So you're just going slow. One side might be easier than the other side. Let the elbow bend, or let the arm hover as much as it needs to. It might hover a lot. That's perfectly fine, because that's where you need to work. That's where your work is. The more you do this, the more the shoulders will loosen up. The chest muscles will loosen up. The upper back muscles will strengthen. Nice and slow, even breaths. If there's a particular spot that's really tough but hard, you might want to just pause there, even though it feels like you don't want to pause there. That's kind of where the work is in this pose. So you might even just pause there and let gravity kind of work the shoulder and the arms and the upper back. Let's take one more opening back into that T position. And then the next time your palms are touching, we'll stop there. And we're going to make our way up to sitting. So use your arms, come up to sitting, and then we're going to come onto hands and knees, table pose. So here you can be on your elbows. If that feels better to your hands and wrists, you can be on elbows. Your elbows will be under your shoulders. If you're on hands, your wrists are under your shoulders. If you're on your hands, let the index fingers be parallel. Other fingers are spread. We're going to go into our cat-cow breath. So let's exhale. Round the spine, tuck the chin, pull your belly up, feel your shoulder blades spread apart. Inhale, tilt your hips, arch your back, lengthen the neck, let your shoulder blades squeeze together. So nice and slow with breath, exhale, you round. And inhale, you arch. So cat pose, or cat-cow, it's called sometimes cat-cow, great pose to do every day. Pretty simple, doesn't take too much time, but it really works the whole body. Your arms, feel it, your shoulders, your chest, back, your neck, your core, your hips, legs. To a neutral spine, neutral neck, shift back into child's pose. So big toes barely touching, knees separate apart a little bit, and then bring your forehead down to rest on stacked hands on a yoga block or maybe down on your mat. Take some nice big breaths into the whole back body, upper back, mid back, low back. Big breaths into the belly. Let's do a side body stretch from child's pose. Stretch your hands as far forward as they'll go. Elbows are up off the mat. Pick your head up and look at your hands, and then let's walk the hands over to the right off the mat. Let's put our fingertips, just our fingertips on the mat, and the palms are up off the floor. Tuck your chin, but keep your forehead off the mat. Your ears are right by your arms. Press your fingertips into the floor and lean to the left. Lean into your left shoulder, left rib cage, and then tuck your left hip down towards your left heel a bit. Take big breaths here into the whole body, the back body, the front body. Let's pick up the head, look at the hands, walk the hands back to the center of the mat, walk the hands over to the left off the mat, and let's just have just your fingertips pressing into the mat. Tuck your chin, forehead's off the mat, lean into the right shoulder, right rib cage, tuck your right hip down towards the right heel, and just kind of press those fingertips into the floor. Big stretch and big breaths. Pick up your head, look at the hands. Let's walk them back to the mat. Make your way up to hands and knees table. Wrists under the shoulders, knees under the hips. And here, just take some free form movement. So you can start with rounding and arching. You can shift your hips and shoulders side to side. You can rock a little forward and back. So any kind of little organic movement. Some nice slow movements for your neck. Good. Bring everything to neutral. Let's come down to our elbows. Drop down to your elbows. Wrap your fingers around the elbows. We're going to stack the shoulders right over the elbows, and the hips are right over the knees. Plant your elbows there. Don't let them widen. Bring the hands forward. Let's interlace the fingers. Tuck your chin a little bit so the back of the head is in line with your spine. Keep your back neutral, not rounding, not arching. So pull your belly button up a little bit. We're going to go forward and back with breath. Inhale, shift your weight forward towards your hands. Exhale, shift your weight back towards your heels. So just start with some small movements forward and back. Try not to let the elbows widen. So as we're moving forward and back, sometimes those elbows will widen. So keep them shoulder width apart. Keep your belly button pulling up, hug your belly in, and that will keep your back from really rounding and arching too much. So this is another full body move, right? You can feel arms, shoulders, back, chest, core, hips, legs. Good. On your next exhale, let's walk the elbows all the way back to child's pose. Big toes barely touching, knees a little wide, and then let your forehead rest. Let the neck muscles relax. Let's maybe even wobble the hips and shoulders a little side to side. Some slow wobbling a little side to side. Bring everything to center. Let's make our way back up to hands and knees table. We're going to go into a lunge. So if you have yoga blocks, you can set those yoga blocks at the front of your mat in the medium height. I don't have yoga blocks. I'm going to be high up on my fingertips here. We're going to go into a lunge. We'll bring the right foot forward between the hands or between the blocks. We want our right knee stacked over our right heel. Pick up your left knee, scoot it as far back as it will go. So we want to get a big stretch on our left hip and thigh. We're going to move forward and back with breath. Inhale. With your exhale, lean back and bow over the right knee. Let's hold here for a breath or two. Big stretch on the back of the right leg. Good. Now inhale, come forward, chin lifts, spine is long. Exhale, shifting back. So just go nice and slow at your own pace. When you come forward, just double check that your right knee doesn't go past the right heel. If it does, walk your right toes a little further forward. Good. The next time you're forward with right knee over right heel, we're going to stay there. Curl your left toes under, lift the left knee up, and we're going to push that left heel back behind us. So get that left leg really long and strong. Keep pushing that left heel back behind you. And at the same time, push your right foot firmly into the floor. So try to feel equal energy, equal strength in both legs. But let's lower the left knee down. We're going to go into a little twist. Bring the right hand to the right hip. Inhale with your exhale, turn to the right. Pull the right thigh into the belly. So we're working that ascending side of the colon again. You can keep your left knee down or curl left toes under, lift the left knee up, firmly push that left foot back behind you. Right foot pushes into the mat. Right hand can stay on the hip or right hand can stretch straight up towards the sky. Big breaths into that low belly. Keep pulling that right thigh in towards the belly. Compress that right side of the belly as you breathe. Bring the right hand down. If the left knee is still up, lower the left knee down. Bring the right knee back by the left, and we'll just kind of swish the hips a little side to side. Good. Bring the hips to center. We're going to bring the left foot forward between the hands or between the blocks. Left knee stacks over left heel. Pick up the right knee, scoot it as far back as it will go. Inhale with your exhale. We're going to lean back and bow over the left knee. Hold here for a couple of breaths. Big stretch on the back of that left leg. Now we'll move with breath. Inhale, come forward. Long spine, lift the chin. Exhale, shifting back. Round the spine, tuck the chin. So going forward and back, nice and slow at your own pace. Big breaths. Working our legs, working our hips. Next time you're forward with the left knee over the left heel, we're going to stay there. Curl your right toes under, lift your right knee up and push that right heel back behind you. So make your right leg really long and strong. Push your left foot straight down into the floor. So trying to have equal strength, equal energy in both legs. Good. Let's lower the right knee down. We'll go into our twist. Left hand to the left hip. Inhale first. Exhale, turn to the left. So we always twist with an exhale. Now, if you want to go a little further into this, curl the right toes under, lift your right knee up, push that right heel back behind you. Left thigh pulls in towards the center of the mat so we can press that left side of the belly, the descending colon. Let's stretch our left hand up to the sky, if that feels okay to your left shoulder, and breathe. Keep that right leg strong if you lifted the knee. Good. Let's bring the left hand down. If your right knee is still up, lower the right knee down. Bring the left knee back by the right. With both knees down, let's swish the hips a little side to side. Good work. So, you know, I'm in a hotel room, and sometimes when you're traveling, your bowels in your bathroom is irregular. So that can really help you with the colon, the ascending, descending side of the colon. Let's shift back into child's pose. Couple breaths, big toes barely touching. Let your knees widen out a little bit. Let your forehead rest somewhere. If it feels okay, wobble hips and shoulders a little side to side. Or you maybe just want to stay centered. You don't have to move hips and shoulders. To me, it just feels a little good to wobble out the lower back, upper shoulders, upper back. Let's go into a downward dog. From child's pose, stretch the hands as far forward as they'll go, elbows up off the mat. Come up into your hands and knees. You can bring the knees a little closer together. Look at those hands. We want the fingers spread nice and wide. That's our foundation in the front here. Curl the toes under. Hopefully I don't slip on this towel. Inhale with your exhale. Lift up, shift back. Downward dog. Keep a little bend in the knees. Hug your belly in. Lift your tailbone up towards the ceiling. Tuck your chin a little bit. So top of the head points down. Let's walk it out a little bit. One heel lowers, other heel lowers. So good stretch for the backs of the legs. Keep the belly hugging in. Keep pressing away from the floor. So strengthening arms and upper body. Bring your heels level with each other. We're going to drop down to knees and shift back into child's pose. That was a pretty successful downward dog on a hotel bath towel. Take a few breaths, wobble hips and shoulders a little side to side, see how it feels. Good. We're going to come back up to hands and knees table. We're going to make our way up into a standing forward fold. I'm going to take you through squat pose, but if there's a better way for you to get into a forward fold, meet us there. From table pose, curl your toes under. Walk the hands back till you're balancing on toes and fingertips. And then you're going to lift your hips up and lower the heels down. Once your heels are down, widen the feet. We want a little bit broader base for our feet. And then bring hands up above the knees. Lift your chest halfway up, flat back. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Hug the belly in. Keep that bend in the knees. Squeeze your glutes just a little bit and hinge up with a nice flat back. Come all the way up to standing. Adjust the clothing. Good. And we'll take a few side swings. Separate the feet a little wider than the hips. Take a few little side swings. Let that opposite heel lift. Let your hips turn. Arms floppy, shoulders relaxed. Good. Let that slow down. Bring the feet to hip width apart, knees and toes pointing straight ahead. We're going to do our standing Y raise. So arms down by your side. You want to firm up your legs, firm up your glutes just a little. Belly pulls in and up. As our arms are down by our side, we're going to inhale, lift our arms into a wide, so wider than our shoulders. So we're a standing Y. Scoop that belly in and up. Exhale. We're going to lower the arms down. We're going to do 4 more of those. Inhale, lift, standing Y. Bring the arms back a little bit if they'll go. Exhale, lower the arms down. So don't overarch your back. Keep that belly pulling in and up. Inhale, pull that belly in and up. Exhale, lower the arms down by your side. We're going to do 2 more of those. Inhale, standing Y. Hands are wide. Exhale, lower back down by your side. And 1 more. Inhale, up. Bring those arms back as far as they'll go. Pull that belly in and up. And then exhale, arms down by your side. Let's take some shoulder rolls. Up and back and down. Up, back and down. So give yourself a little imaginary resistance. Squeeze the shoulders up, squeeze them back, and pull them down. Imaginary resistance there. Good. Shake out arms, shake out legs. We're going to go into a wide leg stance for warrior 2 pose. So wide leg stance. Right toes turn to the right. Left heel shifts back a little bit. And we're going to line up right heel, left arch. Face the long edge of the mat. Don't turn towards your right foot, but we are going to bend the right knee. Right knee stacks over right heel, shoulders right over the hips. Inhale, arms to shoulder level. Exhale, relax the shoulders. Scoop the belly in and up, kind of hug the belly in and turn and look over at your right fingertips. Press your left heel into the floor. Try to lift your left arch off the floor a little bit. Relax the shoulders. Try to feel equal strength in both legs, equal weight in both feet. Let's bring the left hand to the back of the left leg. Turn your right palm up. We're going to inhale and lift the right hand up towards the sky. If you want to go a little further, you can kind of go towards the left a little bit, bringing that right hand back towards the left side of your mat. Inhale back into warrior 2, arms at shoulder level. Now bring your left hand to your left hip, bend your right elbow, and lean over that right thigh and bring the right wrist or forearm to the right thigh. Left shoulder rolls back. So opening your chest up towards the sky. Keep that left heel pushing down, left arch lifting. We're going to come out of that. Inhale, come back up into our warrior 2. Good. Shoulders right over the hips. Lower the arms. Straighten your right knee, parallel the feet. Good. And we're going to go the other way. So left toes turn to the left, right heel shifts back. We're going to line up left heel, right arch. Face the long edge of the mat, bend your left knee. Left knee stacks over left heel. Inhale, arms to shoulder level. Exhale, relax the shoulders. Scoop the belly in and up. Turn and look over. Left fingertips. Relax the shoulders. Push your right heel into the floor. Try to lift your right arch slightly. Even weight on both feet. Even strength in both legs. Bring the right hand to the back of the right leg. Turn your left palm up. Inhale, lift your left hand straight up. Or maybe it could come a little bit back behind you towards that right edge of the mat. But keep that right leg strong. Breathing. Inhale back into warrior two, arms at shoulder level. Right hand to right hip, bend your left elbow, lean over the left thigh, bring your left forearm to the left thigh. Push that right heel into the floor, turn your right shoulder back, so chest kind of turning up towards the sky. And right hand can stretch straight up towards the sky. I can't remember if we stretched that hand up the last time or if we kept it on the hip on the other side. Good, let's bring the right hand to the right hip. Strong legs, we're gonna inhale, come up, straighten that left leg, parallel the feet, step the feet together, shake out arms, shake out legs. Few side swings, separate the feet a little wider than the hips. Good work. Good, bring the feet to parallel. We're gonna take our standing Y again. So knees and toes pointing straight ahead. I'm gonna turn this way so you can kind of see my arms. Firm up your legs, scoop that belly in and up. Arms at your side. We're gonna inhale, lift the hands. Hands are wide, and maybe bring them back a little bit without overarching the back. And then exhale, lower the hands down by your side. We'll do 4 more. Inhale, hands into the standing Y. Bring the shoulders back as far as they'll go. Exhale, arms down by your side. Inhale, hands up. Hands are wide. Exhale, arms right down by your side. Let's do 2 more. Scoop that belly in and up as you lift. Inhale, bring the hands up and back. And exhale, lower down by your side. We're going to take 1 more. Inhale, lift, scoop that belly in and up. And exhale, lower. Good. Shake out arms, shake out legs. How much time do we have? Good. Let's come down onto our mat. We're going to come down to sitting. Knees bent. Feet in front of you. Hands on the knees. We'll take a few seated cat breaths. Inhale, sit tall. Lift the heart. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. We've got a little arch in the low back. And then exhale, start to lean back. Arms go straight, tuck the chin, round your whole spine, pull your belly in. Inhale, sit tall, lift the heart, lengthen your spine. Exhale, and you round back. So go at your own pace, working your whole spine, working your core, working shoulders and hips. Next time you're sitting tall, stay tall. Bring the hands down. One at a time, stretch the legs out. Just windshield wiper the feet. We're going to make our way all the way down onto our back, and we'll do a spinal twist on our back. So make your way all the way down onto your back. Once you're down on your back, hug the knees into the chest. Just release the back here. So roll a little side to side. Kind of just massaging, ironing out the back, the hips, the shoulders. We'll bring the knees to center. Use your core. Don't let your waistline lift. Bring the feet down to the mat. We're going to stretch the left leg out on the mat. Hug the right knee in. Both feet are flexed. Left hand on the right knee. Right arm at your side. Right palm is up. Inhale. With your exhale, take the right knee over to the left. So we want our right shoulder to be on the ground. So you might need to pick up your shoulders, shift them to the left a little bit. That will help get the right shoulder down, or just bring your knee higher up towards the ceiling. But we want both shoulders on the mat. We want our chest facing up, our belly facing up, and from the hips down, we're twisting. Big breaths into the low belly. Your head can stay centered, or you can look over either shoulder. So breathe into this twist, feel the twist. Where might you be holding, where might you be a little stiff? Just make a little adjustment. You can ease out of the pose a little bit. You can go a little deeper into it if you like. Or sometimes just breathing, you feel that tension in the body, you just become aware of it and breathe, those muscles will start to relax. Your right palm is up, helps that right shoulder to stay down, to that right shoulder to open towards the ceiling. We're going to come out of it, so let's bring that right knee up, bring the right foot to the floor, bend your left knee. So both knees bent, feet on the floor. Adjust your hips and shoulders, get even. Stretch the right leg out on the mat, hug the left knee in. Right hand on the left knee, left arm at your side, palm is up. Both feet are flexed. We always twist with an exhale, remember, so inhale first, exhale, take the left knee over to the right. We need to adjust that left shoulder down. So maybe pick up the shoulder, shift them to the right, or just raise your left knee a little bit higher towards the ceiling. Your left palm is up. Big breaths into our low belly. Get your neck comfortable, straight up or over either shoulder. Feel this twist, feel the pose. Do you need to adjust it anywhere? Do you need to back out of the pose a little? Can you go a little deeper? Do you just need to breathe to relax some body parts, your left hip or thigh or glute or your right rib cage, wherever you might be feeling it. Big, slow belly breaths. Let's come out of it. We're going to bring the left knee up, left foot to the floor. Bend your right knee, right foot to the floor. Adjust hips and shoulders. Let's hug the knees into the chest. Hands on the knees. We're going to circle both knees in a clockwise circle. So a nice, slow, clockwise, circular pressure point massage. Let's circle in a counterclockwise direction now. Bring the knees to center. Use your core. Don't let your waistline lift. We're going to bring our feet down to the mat. So here we're going to set up for our final relaxation. You can stretch legs out. You can have the knees bent, feet on the floor, maybe a pillow under the knees, or if you have a chair, you can put your calves and your feet up on a chair. So get that lower body comfortable. Get the upper body comfortable. A little tuck of the chin. Then relax the jaw, the neck, the shoulders. Make sure the body feels even on the mat. The right arm, right leg, left leg. That the head feels even. Not leaning. The head's not rolling to the left or the right. Take some nice, slow belly breaths. Inhale, belly rises. Exhale, belly falls. And my reading, again, is the 3 things that you need to succeed in life are a wishbone, a backbone, and a funny bone. So remembering to breathe into those energy spots, right? So they're not really bones in the body, right? But breathe into the energy of the wishbone. Breathe into the energy of the backbone. Breathe into the energy of the funny bone. Each exhale, let yourself relax a little bit more. Make any little adjustments to get a little bit more comfortable for your final relaxation. See if you can improve on your breath. Can you slow it down? Can you widen it? Can you feel the rib cage expand? Can you lengthen it? Can you feel the belly rise with our inhale? Each exhale, letting go of tension. Let go of worries. Let go of anything that's weighing you down. Anything that's holding you back. Let go of anything that's not in your highest good. Each exhale, we let go. And each inhale, we bring in positive energy and peace, and strength, and courage, and wisdom. Let the eyes relax, let the jaw relax. Let all of the muscles in the body relax. Let all of the joints in the body relax. Let all of the organs in the body relax. Let's wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes, signaling to our body. We're going to be coming out of our final relaxation. Move the hips, the shoulders, maybe a big stretch, maybe a little twist, maybe knees into the chest. When you're ready, nice and slow, roll to one side and use your strong arms to come up all the way up to sitting. Sit comfortable, cross-legged, kneeling, maybe even on a chair. You want to keep the spine nice and long. So tailbone moves back a little bit, heart lifts a little. We're going to hug the belly and shoulders right over the hips. Take a few breaths into the low belly, letting those shoulders relax. Feel grounded down through your seat and grow tall up through the spine, through the neck, through the crown. Let's bring the palms together, thumbs at the heart. A few more breaths into the belly. This gift of breath, so often we take for granted. And this ends our class. Namaste. So I hope you see that you can do yoga when you travel. You don't need any equipment. You don't need anything. You can modify. You can use what you have. And you can keep up your practice. And it doesn't have to be an hour. It can be 5-10 minutes. So take yourself off mute. As always, if you've got to get going and you need to hop off, you can just go. But let me know if you've got any questions, comments, complaints.
No complaints.
Just a and
Good.
Felt great.
Good. 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 I feel good too. You know, and when you travel, you know, like I said, if you're in a plane or in a car, sometimes you do need some stretches
Yeah.
to loosen things up. And when you're traveling, your digestion's a little off, your meals are a little scattered, and you're like, So, you know, all of that, the knees into the chest and those twists are really good for digestion and elimination. So, good. All right. Well, I did send out my newsletter. So if you haven't gotten it, it might have gone to spam. Sometimes it does that. So check for that. I sent out my newsletter and yeah. Anybody have anything they want to add?
Enjoy the baby.
Thank you. We'll be here. I think we're leaving Wednesday morning. So I should be back home for Wednesday night's class.
Great.
So
Please tell Eugene congratulations.
I sure will. I sure will.
very
He's
exciting.
so happy.
Bye, everybody.
Okay, we'll see you all soon.
Good night.
Okay.
Thanks.
Good night.